Okay, so the first thing on my list here, we got a list. And I should have, and I apologize, I should have done this last week, was basically Mother's Day and Father's Day. So so anybody can do this, but um, and the reason I kind of wanted to go over it is I do know several of us here come out of the churches of God. And I know the churches of God, they've always celebrated Mother's Day, Father's Day, and Thanksgiving. They think they're okay. So after looking into this, if you can do a quick search and just pagan roots of Mother's Day, pagan roots of Father's Day, and it's all there. So, for instance, I'm going to read from this one article. It's gotquestions.org. So it says Mother's Day can be traced back to ancient pagan practices, but it's gone through a lot of changes, of course. But the history of Mother's Day can be traced back to celebrations of ancient Greece and Rome in honor of Rhea, the mother of the gods, also aka known as the Queen of Heaven, Ashtoreth, Diana, fill in the blank. So, and it's also no coincidence that it's put in May. And May 1st was the pagan, Christina, what's that day called? I don't know why I can't.
Beltane. Beltane.
Beltane.
Hmm.
And if it's like the second highest occultic day on Satan's calendar. And it's also celebrations of fertility goddess. So that is why they placed it in May. I think there's some other reasons too. Now, so I do think that Yah's true people should have nothing to do with things tracing back to these ancient gods. Because most people think, oh, well, those are just made up. They're not real. Yes, they are real. We know they are real. They're fallen entities, and it's just another way Satan fools the masses. Well, what's wrong with, doing something special for your mother? What can be wrong with that? It's that twisting of turning Satan into a minister of light, right? And I do understand folks on the outside how they think, well, okay, it was based on that, but we've turned it to good. It's just you're just making a big deal out of it. It's not that big a deal. I do understand why they don't understand, but I think Yah calls us out of all that. Once you understand the source and what's really going on, it's Satan manipulating people to do things that in their mind is good, but Yah hates it because he knows the source of it. Just like Christmas, just like Easter, just like Sunday worship, all of it. So I just wanted to share that, and I'm sorry. I really should have done this last week, you know, but I didn't. I honestly didn't really think about it. Um, and then also you can do a quick research on Father's Day is also linked to pagan pre-Christian traditions because of the summer solstice. And I think this year it happens to fall exactly on the summer solstice, which is, when the sun god comes into full power, so to speak, and it literally lists Baal is one of the first entities that was honored on this Father's Day in at the summer solstice. So this is something we cannot participate in. We need to come out of, even though, and it causes some family issues, no doubt. But I just wanted to share, research it for yourself, pray about it yourself, but there's no room for this kind of stuff. If you full friendship with the world is enmity with the Father, right? So my thing now that I fully understand all this is you get a calendar. All the days on the calendar, Christmas, Easter, Memorial Day, July 4th, all of it. Yah has no part in any of that. Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. So if it's on there, I'm not doing it because I know the roots. It goes right back to Satan, right back to demons and fallen angels. Yeah, all of it. Flag Day, Columbus Day, you got it. All of
So
it.
can I just share Bible verse to kind of link to what
Absolutely.
you're saying?
Thank you.
Okay. So Deuteronomy 18:9 says, "When thou art come into the land which Yahuah thy Elohim gives thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations." And so just like you said, Mitzi, like all those dates, when you see on our calendar National Holy Day, like that should be a red flag. Like we don't do like they do. They're not celebrating any of Yah's holidays on their Gregorian calendar. They're celebrating the opposite in worship of all the other gods that there are besides him.
Right. And there's a reason they're in the months they're in and the days they pick, and it's nefarious stuff from the pits of hell, really. So I just thought we needed to review that, especially like I said, that I used to think it was fine too. So yeah. But
Yeah, like this year got accused of reading into the text too much. I'm like, kind of think you're not reading the text at all if you think, otherwise, but
yeah, I'm in that boat too. But and it's okay. Some people they're just not gonna get it right now, and I do understand. But we do know better. That's why we have to come out.
exactly.
Yeah. So, all right. So if there's any other comments or questions, we won't spend much time on that. I think it's pretty easy to prove that out to yourself.